Rob, thank you for joining us. Obviously, frustrating result. Can I get your overall reflection on the game first?
Yeah, well, obviously, look, the big talking point is the sending off. It changed the whole momentum of the game, and then it allows them to get the ball wide, get crosses in the box, get the corners and set pieces, and ultimately, like I said to the lads, individually, responsibility from set pieces or challenges, we need to get better. It's not no point in glazing over it. We do need to get better individually at that. It's been a problem we've identified since we come in, but I think it's been a problem for most of the season, and it's not something that's a quick fix. It's not a case of changing personnel or anything like that. It's a case of just understanding the level, understanding this is what teams rely on, and you've got to be able to deal with that, because when we do deal with it and negate it, some of the play was excellent. Attacking play, scored, creating chances, scoring goals. Even with 10, we get the second, and just have to stay consistent in terms of the play and the attacking play, which was pleasing, was much better. Really threatening the goal, really getting opportunities, but we still need to clean up in terms of our overall sort of the, what would you call them, the individual battles, the second balls, the first contacts, squeezing the line, and again, it's not something that's going to be better after a week. It's going to be a consistent process, and you have to always get better at it. But obviously, up until the sending off, I watched the game back. I won't take too much away from it, but up until the sending off, I felt we were quite comfortable. We knew that in transition and set pieces they'd be strong, but I thought we dealt with that reasonably well. But then, the sending off, getting ourselves ahead from there, and then obviously afterwards, it probably takes the wind out of you a little bit with the scoreline, but that's where we're at the moment.
Yeah, I suppose before the sending off, as a neutral, you probably look at it and think that Crawley are the side more likely to walk away with 3 points. We'd obviously built our way back into the game. So is that the most frustrating thing, that incident is probably obviously the key reason that we've ended up losing today? Because other than that, the performance, as you say, was pretty positive until that point.
Yeah, it really was. And obviously, look, I'm not going to criticise Flinty. He gets caught, and he's got to learn, he's got to develop. He's only young, but he's been, from what I can see, and from since I've been here, he's been superb in terms of his attitude, his quality. He's a leader, but he's still young and developing. Look, people make mistakes in this scenario, and obviously it's cost us, because we go down to 10 against a team that get the ball wide and put it in the box, so we lose that width, we lose the ability to stop them doing that. Look, again, I think it's one of them ones where when you do go down to 10, it can get frustrating, and it can get end to end. It can seem a bit, it's not as fluid, but it doesn't change the fact that whether we've had 10 or 11, we need to be better individually in terms of our battles and our duels from set pieces, and individually in the pitch in terms of the open play. So obviously lots of positives to take up until the sending off, and even after the fact we still score, but other things that we need to work on in terms of the overall picture and plan and the process going forward are quite clear to see, and we'll just have to keep working on.
Yeah, we'll always try and draw positives out of performances, as you say. And ultimately, we are scoring goals again, obviously, especially after going down to 10 men as well, the sort of confidence that the lad shows to bring the ball forward. So is that the sort of thing you'll look to pull out of a game like this, that we were sort of back on the score sheet and now it's just sort of trying to tighten up at the other end of the pitch?
Yeah, well, I think it's, scoring goals one of the hardest things to do, but we seem to be doing that now. We did it on Tuesday, scored three again today. But obviously it wasn't just the fact that we scored three, it was the amount of chances we got. And I think probably because what we're asking the lads to do is slightly different, when we're getting around the edge, we're probably rushing chances as well. But the first two goals come from, going down one way, coming out the other, and things we worked on in training. Junior arriving late and keeping his width, and getting bodies in the box. Obviously I thought Swanee was excellent today. Obviously it was tough for him down to 10, but he worked hard for the team and did everything he could. Positives are always scoring goals. We just need to work really hard at the other end, and we just need to maybe look at a few different tweaks and changes and make sure that we are ready to go again.
What's the mood in the change room like? Because I can imagine a defeat like this is almost more frustrating, because the lads must be thinking in there, you've done almost everything you can possibly do to win the game. You're playing well, and obviously, as we say, an incident can change it. So is there a feeling of real frustration in there at the moment?
I think the biggest word is frustration. I don't think it's not a lack of belief, maybe a tiny bit of lack of confidence, which we said, we never try and make an emotional decision after the game as much as there's frustration there. You say your piece. But I think the big thing for me is that the lads are frustrated because I think they feel they're close to cracking it in terms of the level and the league, which they've shown in moments in games. But this league's relentless. It's probably one of the toughest League Ones. It's probably one of the toughest League One's been for a long time. But what a challenge, what an opportunity for us to come and try and tackle it. And we've been solid at times. We've then not scored. We're now scoring goals. We need to go back to being solid. But ultimately today, a sending off and not being able to deal with set pieces. Even with 10 men, you still have your man. You still got to deal with it, an organisation, all the other things. So we just have to reset. But I think the pleasing thing for me, and I think obviously it's what I've felt since I've come into the club, is that I thought the fans at the end still stayed, still clapped the lads and supported the lads. And it's obviously for myself and the coaching team, it's really appreciative, because I think at the end of the game everyone will be angry and frustrated. I completely get that, but I think when we reflect and think about the game up until the sending off, I think there was so many positives, and I think there's going to be so many positives. And so just on my piece from that, I just want to thank everyone for the reception. Obviously it didn't go the way we wanted, but I think hopefully there's enough to see there that we're on the right path, despite how bumpy it got towards the end.
Okay. Obviously it's always frustrating when your players get sent off, but obviously how good he's been for you recently. How frustrating was it for Flint to get sent off?
It's frustrating in the fact that it kills the momentum of the game, and obviously we was on top and we was dominating. But look, that's football. Flinty. All I can ask Flinty to do is learn from that situation and make sure he doesn't allow himself to get into it again. But not going to criticise Flinty because I think since I've come in, but I know previously since he's been here this season, he's played every minute of every game. He gives absolutely everything for the cause. He's a fantastic lad, fantastic character, and he's going to be a very, very good footballer. Well, he's already a very good footballer, but he's going to get even better. And Flinty's going to be a huge part of what we're going to do this season. So as long as he learns from it, because I know he'll be gutted and frustrated, but as long as he learns from it, which he will, because that's his character, then we'll get him back on the pitch after the game, after the 1 game ban, and he'll make us better as well.
Yeah, and on a positive note, Will Swan scored his first goal for Crawley today. Do you think that's the catalyst for him to kind of push on and score more?
I hope so, because I think Swanee, we really working on getting the ball in the box more in terms of the areas we want Swanee to be, and he scores from that area. And he's an instinctive striker, and he, it's one of them ones where it might not seem like a natural finish, but Swanee's got that ability to be in the right areas at the right time. And I think that's what we want to see. We want to see Will Swan scoring goals, which I think he will. And I think the more we get time together, I think this is what Sam, my 9th day. 9th day, 3 games, which is it's been a bit of a ride, it's been a bit of a mad one. But what I've seen more than enough in the squad and the team that will be okay. However, there's also a lot of things we need to work on. So but there's some lads out there that I'd go to war with, and they've gone to war for me already. So lots of positives on that. Yeah,
and obviously you got a week now till your next game away to Reading. How was the preparation going to be for that?
No, it's good. We obviously have the first week that we've had to be able to work with the players. Players have had an incredible heavy period over the last few weeks with Saturday, Tuesday, and then obviously the emotional thing with Scott leaving and everything, new stuff coming in. So we've asked the players to go away to regroup, to decompress. A few lads are playing with knocks and some serious ones as well. So there's lads out there putting their bodies on the line for us. They genuinely are. So we need to make sure we rest them, but then we come back into work, we're ready to go, because like we said, you've got 2 options in life. You can sort of lay back and you can allow the situations to take control of you, or you can take control of the situation. And I think the one thing that we'll see that work rate and energy from the players, and make sure that no matter what happens in any game, in any situation, we give everything, and we try to play it our way. We try to play good attacking football. We try and control the football. And I want to see that bravery. I want fans to come and know that, yes, we need to get better at certain things, and there'll be times where it won't always come off, but they'll get to enjoy watching us play. And I like to think up until the sending off, and maybe even after for bits, it was a team that was enjoyable to watch.
Lovely, thank you.